Hey, how you doing? I'm Evan Haas, and I've had a lot of requests to do a educational video or a how-to video of my video of Catch the Rainbow cover that I did 2 years ago, and I'm going to do my best to remember what I did and try to tell you about that. I'm happy to do it. So here we go. I hope this is useful. I'm also going to talk about, this is all part of kind of how I do all covers. But here we go. First of all, if you're going to learn the song, I can just show you the chords, but the chords are all pretty standard, and I think you can get the chords from just about anywhere. So I think what people respond to is more how I improvise around those chords, and I'll talk more about that. But I'm going to start big picture. I'm not going to get into notes. I don't do tablature, and I will show certain things I do exactly how I do them with the exact notes, but that's different every time, as I've talked about in other videos. But the big picture first. It's a great song. I only choose songs that I really love and that I want to get closer to. And there are three elements in any song for me: the chords, the words, and the melody. If they all three speak to me, I like to do them. If they leave me some openings, I like to do them even more. If it's great, I like to do it even more. So the chords themselves to Catch the Rainbow are pretty simple. You should be able to get them just about anywhere, and the words are pretty short. There are two very short verses, and then there's some improvisation. What I do before every song is listen to all the versions that I can. Obviously, with this song, I like the studio version, and I like the Rainbow on Stage version. And then I will go further, and I'll watch some live videos of other live Rainbow with Ronnie James Dio as well, to get how did he improvise? How did he and Richie Blackmore change things up when they did it? And that gives me more ideas, more license, and I really try to touch on all the different versions, because I usually like something from each different version. I want to get it all in there, and why not? I'm doing a cover. So with that said, what can I tell you? First of all, if you ever played along with my video, the first thing you should know is that I tuned down a half step. So you'll want to tune your guitar down a half step, standard tuning. And I went ahead and did that for this video. So that's actually an E flat. So that could give you trouble if you're trying to play along. So there's that. From there, there's some really cool stuff in the intro, but that's really detailed, and I'll do that at the end of the video. But the chords themselves, I'll play a little bit of the beginning. Here's the intro. Those little details, I worked those out. I listened to a couple different ways Richie Blackmore did it, came up with a kind of version of it. I'm sure it's not perfect. I'm sure it's not exactly the way he did it. It's just the way I did it, the way I heard it, and that's kind of how I go with these things. I'll get to that later. So the chords are pretty simple. You're in E minor. When evening falls, to G, like crystal, A minor, to C, E minor, B, sometimes it'll go E to D and just go back to E. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, do, da, 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 da. So forth, soft and warm, second verse, and then we get second verse, same thing. Get to the chorus, it goes up to the 4 to A minor. We believe we'd catch the rainbow, back to E minor, ride the D. I do A major to the sun. A minor would sound good there, and some of you sleuths will find out who does what does rainbow do. I don't really remember, but if it did A minor, it would work. Ride away to the sun. Doesn't sound bad either. I do A major to the sun. Sail away on ships of wonder. E minor D to C. Life's not a wheel to B. I do a bar chord, don't do a B major. If you're going to do the third, do a minor. Life's not a wheel, the chains made of steel to D. And then on Bless Me, it goes D, E minor. The vocal's going down, bless me, but the chords are going up. Bless me, come the dawn. And here's an A minor 7. A much tastier chord than A minor, but it's the first time it comes in this song for me. Come the dawn, come the dawn, come the dawn. Again. Now, we get to the point where I play the melody, just like Richie plays the melody with a slide guitar on the studio version. And here again, you just use your ears, you play the vocal melody that you've been singing on the guitar. I will say this, whenever I get to a point in a song where I play the vocal melody, I make sure that the vocal melody is done right, and then the chords are secondary. I mean, the chords are right, but they don't, the melody comes on the beat in the right place for me, and then the chords will come second. And what I mean is, it sounds something like this. As opposed to, I'd rather get the melody right. We as listeners will fill in the rest. E minor, D, D, B, A, B, to the G chord, A, octave, so you can negotiate that octave jump this way if you want. A. Now here, because I would like to have my A minor chord, I'm up here on the melody and I'm down here on the bass, I need to fill in that gap. I can't do this too wide, so I came up with an A minor up here. So I go. What was it again? Then we have E minor. The good thing about playing an E minor is that you have a lot of open strings that are going to be the bass notes. And there we have an E minor chord going to a D. I don't really have to chord that, so I go. There's my D. We believe we catch the rainbow right away to the sun, well away on ships of wonder. Life's got a wheel, so bless me. And then this second bless me is G to A minor. So bless me. Then back to the first one. Bless me. Come the dawn. Come the dawn. Come the dawn. Come the... Now like this, where I hold dawn. It's one of the things I love about the song, where I hold this word dawn and then change the chords underneath it. Come the dawn. String part at the end or whatever. And the chord underneath this is a C. So you have a C major 7. So the chords are going between E minor and C, major 7. And you'll see me do a funny thing because the melody is important. So where's my nearest C? It's up here. I just finger the C, and that's all you really need. But I'll try to get the E if I can. And then the rest of them, just, I don't care. The thing about the guitar is the whole guitar, it's in E minor. You can play, you can have a bass player play E and play this all day long. And you're in E minor. But what makes it, it'll be a little confusing. The first problem, see the first 3 notes, top 3 notes are an E minor triad. Then you get to a D, make it an E minor 7, great. The first trouble is the A note. I mean, A can be in an E minor harmony, but not so low, not so far down in the bass register. So that's why we get the B there. So when I'm doing lots of open strings, that's why using a lot of E minor, C major, G major, whatever, I will just try to eliminate the notes that are clashing the most. And so if I did this, sounds all right, but I try to get that A out of there. I might even mute the D with this finger. Of course, you know, I whistle because I can't sing that high. Started whistling when I did Judas Priest to try to do Rob Halford. No one can do Rob Halford, so I whistle. And then I don't have to play the melody, I can just whistle it. Ride the night. So in this section, this kind of like long drawn out section that ends the studio version, it goes between E minor and C a lot, but it also will substitute A minor 7 for that C. So we'll go da 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 Da, da, da. You know, an A minor 7 is a C chord, is a C major chord, just with A in the bass. And I love that change. Another of the top reasons I did this song was that change. And what I really like is it goes to C, goes to C, goes to C, and when it does go to that A minor 7, it's pretty magical. And there's a wonderful way to do that. I hit it right there. I go A. So it's an A minor 9, because that B now becomes a 9th in the A minor harmony. It's just the same. It's the same B that was made the C a major 7th, but it's all how you number it up from the bass. So, so I improvise on that, and I pick up some Ronnie James vocal riffs from different live versions, and found the ones that I like, and that's pretty much it. There's the artificial harmonics, which are a lot of fun. You could probably find a video, just look for guitar artificial harmonics, and you'll find lots of tutorials how to do this. But what it is so an artificial harmonic, real quickly, here's a harmonic, here's the E, you touch it lightly at the octave, or you can get a double twice as high if you touch it at the 4th, and you get the 5th here, you get the B there. I was going to play Red Barchetta, but I forgot it. All right, so you can do a harmonic on any single note. You just have to, you don't have the benefit of an open string. So if I want to do an artificial harmonic on F, I would touch the F at the octave. The problem is, then I don't have a third arm to pick the note, so I have to do it with this thumb. So I lightly touch with this finger, etc. So in this particular line, which is just an E minor scale, fortunately the guitar gives us every one of those notes as a natural harmonic. A natural harmonic is when you're not doing any fingering. A natural harmonic is any of these regular harmonics versus an artificial harmonic, which I've made happen. I've forced it. But you get all these natural harmonics on a guitar. You get them right here. There's the E, there's the F sharp, there's the G. You don't get the A, and you even get the B if you want it. But if I'm already here, I'm going to go ahead and go there. I'm not going to go back and forth. Now, I still have to support that B with the C harmony, so I do have to come down here. All right, I think I've told you enough about this song. Let me do the intro for you, in case you showed up for that. always have to hear that out. That is a B on the G string and the open B together. One of my favorite sounds. To the G. And then I do something I can't imagine Richie Blackmore does it this way, but I heard this going. Could do it here. Maybe do it there. The key to this is that playing two strings at once, the main note and a fourth below it. Which you can do anywhere on the guitar except for the B and the G string when you have to create the perfect fourth this way, which I do here. Gotta get the blues note in there. Could go without the blues note. Love that one. The double B coming into the C major 7. So you just play with that. Here's what you need to know about playing two notes at once. The slide on the fourth is that the melodic note is on top. You don't do it with the melodic note on the bottom. So if I'm doing this, I'm really doing this. That's a D and an E. Fine to have the fourth below it in almost all cases, not every case, but in most cases. But I wouldn't go, changes the harmony. That's more of a G to A. So with that in mind, you can do any riff you have, you can do it, put a fourth underneath it. To beef up your sound. All right. Guess that's all I got for you today. Hope it's helpful. If you want more songs, I do read the comments. I appreciate it. I really appreciate that you like this one so much. And I'm going to also tell you that right now I'm doing a fundraiser. I don't do a Patreon, so I don't do lessons. I tried a Patreon for a half a year or so. I got this many people signed up, so I don't mess with that. Everything's free. I don't ask you to like. I don't ask you to subscribe. I just let you know if you subscribe, you get to find out that I'm doing something new, which sometimes takes years. So there you go. I am putting my fundraiser in the text of this message. If you want to leave me, if you feel inclined to leave me any money, I need money because I'm raising money for an orchestral. I'm doing a recording session with a full orchestra, and it's very expensive, and I'm doing that. And I'm also releasing a new album, which I'm not raising money for. I'm just paying for that. There's no money here. It's all free. We're on YouTube. The only people that get money for Catch the Rainbow is the publisher of Catch the Rainbow. Every cover song I do, I get zero. Only the publishers get money, and I'm good for them. Fine, it's fine with me. I'm just glad they let me do this, and maybe you are too. And I'm glad I get to see other videos of other people doing it too. That's another thing that I do. Whenever I choose to do a song, I check out YouTube to see who else has done this song, because if there's 15 great cover videos of a song, I'm not going near it. I try to do songs that are a little less picked over. What else do I want to tell you? Anything else about this? No? That's it. All right, thanks. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.